So Janine's working on her garden, or her grass, not her garden, I'm sorry. And I got about 3 hours before we have to leave, so I'm making the trolling motor mount. I've picked up a piece of angle iron, and I've cut that to 1 foot, and then rounded the edges out. All right, so I'm gonna do 3 holes in this, one here, one here, one here, and that's gonna go to the deck. And then I'm gonna do 2 holes through the face of it, and that's gonna hold the 2x4 to this. The trolling motor is going to clamp on the inside of that. So I have a couple hours to get this done. I've already went and picked up all the hardware, picked up the angle iron, and I'm gonna try and get it done. So I'll check in with you guys in a bit. All right, so my lovely assistant of a wife, who actually does the same kind of stuff, was spraying WD-40 as I was drilling these 3 holes. I'm gonna have 2 more to do. Maybe I'll try and get some video of that. And I mean, I'm just making it work. You know, you don't have to have the best of the best everything. It does make it easier, but you know, it's not necessary. I mean, sometimes you do throw it around, but and there we go. New holes drilled. All right. But just to keep the metal cool and the bit cool so we're not ruining it. But these 3 are the ones that are going to be the ones that go through the deck. I think these are 1.5 inches. And then I got 2.5 inches to go through this and into the pressure treated 2x4. So I'm thinking this is gonna work out pretty good. It's actually gonna go on this side, but so yeah, I'm gonna cut the 2x4 now, and then I'll be drilling into the boat, which is kind of nerve-wracking, but let's see what we can make of it. I think this is always the most unnerving part. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I have the holes drilled in the boat. There's one here, one here, one here. All these correspond to these holes. So now for the underside of it, so this lines up, I'm going to take a piece of this old cutting board. I'm going to cut a piece out of this to fit, re-drill the holes through the cutting board, and put the cutting board on the bottom side of it, just so it smushes all this together. And I know it's kind of a redundancy. I have washers and everything, but I'm a person that likes redundancy, so I'm okay with that. So we'll get it all cut up. I'll probably check in after I get the cutting board put together and the 2x4 all cut up, and then we'll drill a couple more holes in this angle iron for the 2x4 to mount, and then we'll bolt everything together and see what it looks like. Okay, so I haven't tightened that all the way down, but let's see if we can focus on that. There's these 3. Underneath it, there's the cutting board and the bolt. Each of those are just kind of hand tight right now. Now this board is going to mount here. Now what I did on the board itself, just so you know my little tick marks, is I found the center of the board, measured the width of the trolling motor mount, which is these 2 marks. That's the farthest point out that that's going to go. And then I found the center from the edge of the trolling motor mount to the edge of the board and centered my bolt hole there. Same thing here. Now to just get my marks on where I'm going to go through the metal, I'm just going to stick the drill bit through the board, mark the metal from the inside. I'm going to pull that back off, drill it, put all the bolts through, and then we should be good to go. I think that's going to be good for what I want it to do. So I think I'm going to be fairly happy with it. So we'll give that a try and see what we can make of it. All right, so that's her all done, just about up. I'm pretty happy with it. I have a few things I want to figure out how we're going to route the cables with the battery. Might end up putting a plug here might end up putting a plug here, or maybe in the side over here, or maybe on that side. Right there. We have the availability to do that, but I'm not gonna know exactly until I get a battery of my own. I'm gonna be borrowing Gary's battery, but this is the mount all together. Now I have it shifted off to the side a little bit, but all stainless hardware. Steel down here, 3 stainless bolts through the bottom. The bottom of that, like I was saying, does have the cutting board in it. And I don't think that I need it, but it, like I said, it's just more of a redundancy for my peace of mind. Functions real great. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm excited to take the boat out tomorrow and see what we can make of it. So I got to get ready for a wedding, and hopefully you guys see this probably this Monday. So I'll catch you guys later.